and one vote shilling revenue formula, and also the regional politics. The church is actually calling the peace in the country and unity among the leaders, saying that if there are issues within Kenya Kwanza government or other UDA party, it is better for them to sit down and sort out their issues without accusing any leader at political forums. Remember, this is happening at the moment where we are also having the same member of parliament, Oscar Sudi, just within 1 kilometer right here at Holy Family Catholic Church, where from here we'll be heading there to listen what he has to say over the same. But let's get to what the church is saying right here. Welcome to our K24, where we are live. Today you are saying that the church, as a church, you want politicians to cool down and maybe tone down their political temperatures in the country. Why this?
Yeah, the major reason is because as a church, we advocate for peace. And it's our prayer that if there's any differences, any issue that may be touching even our political leaders, it is important for them maybe to sit aside and talk and sort out the issues they have. The common mwananchi is happy when we have peace in our country. So I want to appeal for our leaders that in case there's anything that they have some differences, they may share indoor, so that these things may not come so public, because common mwananchi is not at peace. And because we remember what happened in 07, and because of hatred speeches, sometimes our people may not go well, and people who are also idle may take advantage of that, so that they may destabilize our country.
So are you saying whenever there are issues, they should actually sit down and discuss?
Yes, always sitting down and discussing is the important thing, because in conflict management, yes, it is good for us to go to the root of a problem, but when we do them indoors, it will assist us to resolve these things and create love in our country.
Well, thank you so much, my colleague in the studio. You've heard from AIC Bishop Nandi-based Mr. Moses Serem there, calling on the political leaders in the country to have a truce on matters difference in the country, saying the matters development is important for President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua to implement the promises made in the country during 2022 August polls. So from here, we'll be heading right away to Holy Family Catholic Church in Kapsabet town again to get what the same members of parliament will be saying. Are they going to violate the same what the church is saying? That is what an update is coming later on in our 1 p.m. or rather 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. news at K24 from Olangata AIC Church in Mgwen constituency. My name is Isaiah Chiriot. Back to you, Alan Owino, in the studio.
Very well, Isaiah. Thank you for that update. Moving on to other updates, a section of leaders from Mount Kenya have urged Parliament to move and shoot down the punitive taxation proposals in the Finance Bill 2024 to save Kenyans from further suffering. The politicians, led by former Thika Member of Parliament and Kiambu County Assembly Speaker Stephen Ndicho, said that the introduction of new taxes will potentially make the poor poorer, and in turn the Kenya Revenue Authority will be unable to hit its revenue targets.
If that bill is passed, I'm warning the people of Kenya, you shall cry with one eye closing the other. I saw the IMF and World Bank report this morning. They are warning President William Ruto that the taxes that he is proposing in that bill are impractical. They are and they cannot be implemented unless you want to kill a whole population. To our members of parliament, because we, outside the parliament, we can only talk. The people with the muscle and the power to make sure that that bill does not pass are members of parliament. So we were to tell them in this meeting, not to tell us that they didn't read it, like the 2023 finance bill. This one, we were to tell them, and we are telling them, Wanjiko has read this bill. And Wanjiko has seen this bill is a bad bill for Wanjiko.
The power belongs to these people. And therefore, when you look at the taxes, the KRA agenda, that every mama now, because I can speak on behalf of mamas, we are not able to cook for our families. It is chaotic. We cannot afford a meal, and the taxes are just too much. And therefore, let's come back. Let us reason together. Let's know how the future will be. Because as we talk now, kila mtu analia, hakuna kitu ya kula, tuko na njaa.
Baringo South elected members of County Assembly are threatening legal action to block the utilization of the 86 million shillings allocated to the constituency from the Equalization Fund, arguing that no such participation occurred in approving the projects submitted by the Equalization Fund Advisory Board, which they claim that this violates Article 10, Section 2. Led by Marigat Ward MCA Nixon Lemlem, the leaders have emphasized the importance of public participation in order for residents to determine how the funds will be used.
We have delivered on Thursday a notice to the Equalization Fund Board, and they have received, and the received copy would be circulated shortly to the people of Baringo South. They would be able to read for themselves what we have told the Equalization Fund Board. We have given them 7 days notice, and we have drawn to their attention that, number one, there was no public participation in this money. We are not aware, as your elected MCAs, anywhere that public participation happened. That is what we have actually informed the Equalization Board. And we are urging the Equalization Board to exercise their mandate in line with the law, in line with the Constitution.
The role of Equalization Fund is to go to electricity, it is to go to water, it is to go to roads, it is to go to education, and other basic needs within the marginalized area. It is very important to note that this is money for marginalized people. For Equalization Fund, as much as we know, for Baringo South, for the 3 wards, project identification went wrong. And that is why we are here to have a conversation and a message to the people of Baringo South.
The ongoing debate on national resources sharing has seen Ruto's allies in Ukambani call for the inclusion of geographical area in the matrix. Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwengi Machakos says if the one man, one vote, one shilling revenue sharing formula is implemented, Makueni County will lose 658 million, Machakos will lose 1.2 billion, while Kitui will lose 770 million. Kitui East Member of Parliament Nimrod Mbai has proposed that the conversation be changed to one man, one shilling, 1 kilometer.
Asanteni sana kwa kuja kubariki familia na watoto wote.
The assumption of that particular principle is that all Kenyans are at the same level of development. Is that the reality? I think it is important that we don't become hypocritical when we are looking at the development of Kenya. Because since independence, Kenya has been collecting taxes, and there is no way Kenya would have worked the whole of Kenya at the same level. There are some areas that have benefited more from our first investment as a country than others. Look at Central. You have the roads, you have electricity, you have water, you have better schools. And we have nothing to feel bad about that because Central is part of Kenya. But we also need to be aware that there are other areas in this particular country that are actually lagging behind in terms of development. And they would also want to talk about one man, one shilling, 1 kilometer. Because some of these areas are sparsely populated. And when you actually give them resources based on population, they may not get anything. Or they may get very little.
Hapa sisi tumekataa mambo ya one man, one shilling. Sisi tunasema 1 kilometer, 1 shilling. Kwa sababu hiyo ndio inaweza tusaidia. Na hatutakubaliana na hiyo mambo ya one man, one shilling. Sisi mambo yetu, kwa sababu tumekaa sparsely populated na tuko na inji kubwa, na northeastern kuko hivyo, na coast ukienda kuko hivyo. Hiyo ni njia inaweza tawanya wananchi, tupige hesabu ya kilometers za inchi.
Women from the Samburu community in Isiolo are breaking cultural norms by playing an active role in efforts that aim to promote security. Speaking during a meeting at Kipsing village in Isiolo County that was organized by UN Women through Isiolo Peace Link Elders said that the contribution of women in security was crucial. Security personnel in the region have admitted that women were previously being left out of security meetings due to cultural norms, despite them harboring important information on the whereabouts and activities of criminals who are also their relatives.
Ni kwa sababu hiyo insecurity ndio imewafanya watoto wasiwe shule. Kwa sababu bado wanachunga mali, wanaogopa watoto wao kufa, wanakuwa security kwa watoto yao. So unapata watoto wanakosa kwenda shule kwa sababu ya kukosekana kwa amani. Ninashukuru pia ile kambi ambayo ya jeshi ambayo iko kwa Milango, area ya Milango. Ninashukuru sana kwa sababu imereduce insecurity. Kuna wakati tukipigana kuhusiana na mali ama kuibiana mali, hatuwezi pita hiyo barabara. Isipokuwa gari ya jeshi hapa, hatuwezi nunua kitu hicho ama hatuwezi fanya hata mkutano ya amani haifanyiki. Labda kama gari ya security ndio itakuja kutoa watu hapa waende hiyo mkutano, tunaogopa. Kwa hivyo ninashukuru hiyo security ambayo imewekwa Milango pia inasaidia kwa mambo ya barabara. Bado ninaomba wawe tight kwa sababu kuna wakati tu hata pikipiki zinasimamishwa hapo. Unasikia hata hii ya Kosovo zinasimamishwa kama ina binduki.
The participation of women in any peace building initiative, especially within this patriarchal society, was very minimal. Women voices were not heard, but for the past maybe 6 months since we started this mediation project across the county with support from UN Women Kenya, we've been able to see the fruits of having women participate in these mediation forums. We've been able to see them have a seat at the tables within these peace committees that we've established across the target areas of the mediation project, and I'm hoping to continue seeing women's participation in these peace processes, because at the end of the day we have to see and document the perspectives of women when it comes to peace building issues. How conflicts affect women, youth, and men elders, that is, and children is very different.
Kiambu County government has donated some acres of land. We'll be getting that update in a short while. Let's take a short break right here on K24 News. We'll be back with more.